Closing out week one here in the Prospect League. Your Decatur Bean Ballers traveling up here to Lafayette, Indiana to take on the undefeated Lafayette Aviators. But good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on the official YouTube channel of your Decatur Bean Ballers. I am Truman Griessel, joined alongside me today, Daniel Herzog. And Daniel, we're closing out week one in the Prospect League. And for the Bean Ballers, it's been a little up and down. We've seen the highs that have resulted in a couple of wins, and then we've seen some lows that have ultimately transmitted to losses. And then last night, an 11-inning thriller against the Danville Dans. They unfortunately came up on the losing end of it. But here we are closing out week one. What are just some of the observations you've seen from the Bean Ballers?
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot that fluctuates in this league, night to night, player to player. But it seems like O'Neal Felice has been a consistent, reliable bat for Gabe Arroyo in that lineup. He's hitting a league best 667. He's got a league best on-base percentage with 762. We saw him get on base a ton last night. 3 walks, a single, a double. So he's been a very consistent bat. And then there have been some arms, but typically it seems the Bean Ballers run into trouble whenever they start missing the zone a little bit. A lot of walks in the issue innings for the Bean Ballers so far.
I mean, you talked about that. They are leading the league in on-base percentage, a 470 clip as a team. They lead the league in walks, and they also lead the league in total runs scored, but then they are bottom of the league in terms of walks, 10th in the league in issued walks from the pitching staff. As we get a look at today's starting lineup, first for your Bean Ballers will be Brandon Abernathy in center, Carter Rich out in shortstop, Jackson Snitko at first base, O'Neal Felice, the cleanup hitter, DHing, Garrett Allen in left field, Jagger Snitko will be at second base, Jackson Miller is getting the catching duties, Caleb Kreider at the hot corner in third base, and then CJ Scheffel out in right field with Adam Cooper making his Bean Ballers debut. As for the Aviators, it'll be Bo Caraway leading off in center, Sage Adams over in right, Isaac Incinelli will be the DH this afternoon, Gabe Boyd in the hot corner at third, Jack Ferguson at second, and Gavin Smith in shortstop, Zach Politer doing the catching duties, Dean Hanna at first, and Rodney Rachel in left. But we will step aside. First pitch coming right up between the Bean Ballers and the Aviators here on the official YouTube channel of your Decatur Bean Ballers. Sunny and 77 degrees with a 4-mile-per-hour wind here at Loeb Stadium that opened in 2021 with a capacity of 2,600 as the Aviators take the field. They are in their home white jerseys, home white pants, Lafayette in blue, navy blue letters with gold outline across the chest, navy blue claps with the Aviator logo on the front. As for the Bean Ballers, navy blue jerseys, gray pants in their road uniforms, gray numbers on the lower right-hand side of the jersey, big block numbers on the back outlined in royal blue, and cyan blue caps with a navy blue bill and a cursive D on the front. But once again, the lineup for Decatur will be Abernathy, Rich Snitko, Feliz Allen, Jagger Snitko, Jackson Miller, Caleb Kreider, and CJ Scheffel. And they will face Jackson Gwynn on the mound, Daniel. They have already seen him once before this season.
That's right. Decatur back in its opening game, its first ever game as a member of the Prospect League. They did see Gwynn for a bit in that one. And that was one that Decatur led for a while, up 5-2, heading into the 7th inning, but then a 6 inning in the 7th, a 6 spot in the 7th by the Aviators, and then 2 in the 9th. Quickly put that one to bed for Decatur, hoping for a better result today.
Gwynn from Des Moines Area Community College, where he went 1-1 in his 15 appearances this past spring. He threw 2 shutout innings, though, back on Tuesday on opening night, allowed just 3 hits and struck out 3 Bean Ballers hitters. And he also qualified for the win in that one, getting his first win of the summer. But we are almost ready to go. Gwynn done with his warm-up tosses. Abernathy's headed to the right-hand batter's box. It's a nice crowd has filled in here on Family Fun Day at Loeb Stadium.
I think Abernathy stepping in, looking to attack. Patience is the key for a lot of these Bean Ballers hitters, but not Abernathy, namely one of them who's typically quick to swing at one of the first 2 pitches.
First pitch of the game, we are underway, is upstairs for a ball for Jackson Gwynn. First pitch, 3:03 Eastern Time. Abernathy making his 5th start of the summer, but has appeared now in all 6 games. Lines one to short, but it is snagged right there at shortstop by Gavin Smith, so allowed out number 1.
Yeah, quick to jump on a pitch. Once he sees something that he likes, that bat is coming off the shoulder. Good contact there on the first swing from Abernathy, just not quite where he wanted it to go.
So now Carter Rich will dig also into the right-hand batter's box. He's playing shortstop again today. Gwynn out of the stretch, first pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. Rich was 2 for 4 yesterday against the Dans, also drew a walk. He extended the 11th inning with an infield single, but ultimately was stranded there. Next pitch, swung on and missed, 0-2. For Rich, second hitter on this Bean Baller roster, hitting .429. The 0-2 from Gwynn. Breaking ball inside, 1-2.
A lot of speed, these first 2 hitters, Abernathy and Rich. Rich had a bunt single down the third base line yesterday.
The 1-2. Misses outside. Count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And further towards that, a bunt single, another infield single yesterday. Also had 2 infield singles against the Aviators in the opening game for Decatur.
2-2. Fastball high and away. So just like that, count has gone full against the Bean Ballers' 2-hole hitter. Payoff pitch. Lined out towards right field, dropping in front and landing for a hit in front of Sage Adams. So it's a 1-out single in the first hit of the day for Carter Rich.
Nice job just taking what the pitcher gives him. Falls in the hole 0-2, but able to stay alive. Doesn't go for anything outside the zone, and then just deposits this one the other way. Just taking what he's given, and he's on base already.
Man on first, Jackson Snitko. The switch hitter digs in from the left side. Give a check over at first base on Rich, not in time. Snitko came off the bench yesterday in the 11th inning and hit a base hit to left field, scoring a run. It's a 5-4 loss. The Bean Ballers ultimately took to the Dans. First pitch outside from Gwynn. Snitko hitting exactly 300, 3 for 10, making his 4th start for the Bean Ballers. Another check over at Rich at first base. Snitko was 0 for 3 with a walk against the Aviators back on opening night. The 1-0, grounded to the right side. Ferguson has it. He goes to second for the force out, and a nice job from Smith and over to first in time for the double play. Nifty play over at second base by Gavin Smith to roll the 4-6-3 double play. Gwynn faces the minimum. We're headed to the bottom of the first. Aviators coming up. So after a 4-6-3 double play gets Jackson Gwynn out of the top of the first, Adam Cooper takes the mound for the first time this summer in a Bean Ballers uniform. Cooper comes from Otterbein University, where he made one appearance this past spring, but it was a good one. It was a shutout inning. He tallied a couple of strikeouts, but now he gets a very hot Aviator lineup, Daniel, that has put up double-digit runs in back-to-back games and has yet to have a game where they've put up less than 7.
Yeah, for Danville last night, it seemed the pitching staff was the reason the Dans were undefeated. Aviators' bats are definitely the catalyst for the 5-0 start.
First pitch to the leadoff man, Bo Caraway Jr. is in the dirt for a ball. The Aviators lead the Prospect League with a team batting average of .314. Cooper into the wind. Caraway chops one down the first base line, foul. Caraway, a left-handed hitter, originally out of Cypress, Texas. He was 1 for 4 last night with a couple of strikeouts against the Corn Belters in that 12-2 dominant victory by the Aviators. 1-1 from Cooper, misses outside. Into the wind, the 1-1. Low and inside. Now 3 balls on a strike.
Seemed like Cooper landed a little awkwardly.
He's tied with Grayson Robertson, who's getting the off day today for Gabe Arroyo. Payoff pitch from Cooper to the leadoff man, Caraway. Chop to the right side, foul. Caraway hit 194 in 67 at-bats this past spring at Baylor University out of the Big 12. Now makes the trek north to Lafayette, Indiana. Another 3-2. Fouled off yet again. Caraway doing a nice job of fouling pitches off and prolonging this at-bat against Cooper to lead off the game for the Aviators.
This will be the 8th pitch from Cooper to Caraway already.
Another 3-2. Grounded in play this time, right over to Jagger Snitko. He slips, but he's able to throw it to his brother for the out, and the 8-pitch battle is won by Adam Cooper.
Nice job there by Snitko, getting over, getting around the ball. That way, once he receives it, he can start his momentum towards his brother at first. Now, I'm noticing this turf seems to be a little shorter than the turf at Workman Family Baseball Field. A little bit of a slip there from Jagger, but able to make the play.
Gerber into the line and fires. Misses on the corner. Called a strike. The 2-hole hitter Sage Adams playing right field this afternoon. The 0-1 is downstairs 1-1. Adams got the night off against Normal last night. For on Friday, he was 0 for 2 with a walk against the Champion City Half-Tracks. 1-1, grounded outside of third and foul. Adams hitting just 125 up to this point. 1 hit in his 8 at-bats. That's the 1-2 from Cooper. Fouled off again. Cooper boasting some neon yellow cleats that stand out against his navy blue jersey and gray pants. Working quickly here in the first. Into the wind. On 1-2 again. Fouled off. Might need to start keeping track of how many times we say today that an Aviator hitter fouled off a 2-strike offering from a beanballer pitcher.
Yeah, already several foul balls prolonging at bats, but Cooper got the first out. Let's see if he can get Adams here.
Another 1-2, misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two from the big righty. Swung on and missed. Slider got him on the outside corner. And the first strikeout of the day for Adam Cooper is Sage Adams. So digging in with 2 outs and nobody on will be the designated hitter for the Aviators this afternoon, Isaac Inchinelli. Man, what a game he had last night against the Normal Corn Belters. First pitch from Cooper, outside for a ball. Inchinelli went 4 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. The 1-0, hit in the air toward the third base side. Caleb Kreider gives it a look, but it lands in the seats.
Decatur saw Inchinelli last time up, but he was out in short. That was the opening game on Tuesday, and him and Carter Rich, his counterpart for the Bean Ballers, they were all over the place defensively. Very strong defenders, both of those shortstops. He gets the DH spot today.
1-1's outside, 2-1 from Cooper. Inchinelli on opening night did have a hit and also drove in a pair of runs against the Bean Ballers in a 10-5 Aviators come from behind victory. It's a 2-1 from Cooper. Downstairs 3-1. The Avs trailed 5-2 entering the 7th inning, but then a 6th spot put their stamp, the defending Eastern Conference champions here in the Prospect League, on opening night and ended the Bean Ballers' chance to get a dominant win. The 3-1 in there for strike 2. Cooper now 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 first. Righty winds and fires. Grounded foul. Nice crowd is filled in here at Loeb Stadium on a beautiful Sunday in Lafayette, Indiana. Cooper deals the payoff pitch. Off the hands, flared out towards center. In comes Abernathy. He won't get there. And the first hit of the afternoon for the Lafayette Aviators is Isaac Inchinelli.
Certainly not a poorly placed pitch there from Cooper. Right in on the hands of Inchinelli, but that's just good hitting. Fighting it off, fisting it up the middle and aboard. Sometimes soft contact is all you need. We saw that last night with the Danville Dans. Several infield hits, just balls that weren't quite squared up, but nonetheless base runners. And Inchinelli's the first base runner for Lafayette tonight.
Cleanup hitter this afternoon is Gabe Boyd with Inchinelli on first and 2 outs. Cooper gives a check over at Inchinelli at first. If there's one thing that this Beanballer pitching staff has struggled with, it's giving up hits. They've given the 4th most hits in the Prospect League through 5 games. Cooper steps off yet again. Just the second road game for the Bean Ballers. Their first one back on Thursday was a 9-5 loss at the Thrillville Thrillabillies. First pitch to Boyd. Breaking ball low and away, blocked by Miller. One-0 to Boyd. Lined up the middle, under the glove of Snitko and into right center field. Making the turn and heading for third will be Incinelli. Abernathy gets it back in. But now the Aviators have runners at the corners with 2 outs on back-to-back singles.
Great piece of hitting there. Absolutely laces this one up the middle. Abernathy's speed able to cut it off. Otherwise, Incinelli easily would have scored and probably would have been extra bases for Ferguson. But it just shows how much just a 2-out single can change, and those aren't always meaningless.
Jack Ferguson now digs in with runners at the corners and 2 outs. First pitch to him is low and away for a ball. Ferguson hitting .357, 5 hits in his 14 at-bats, making his 5th start here with the Aviators this summer. Check over at first on Boyd, but he's back in time.
Both these pitchers today, Cooper and Gwynn, several checks over at first, just making sure that runner stays put and knows he has eyes on him.
Boyd takes off for second, throw down from Miller, not going to be in time. Boyd in there with a stolen base. Puts now 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. For Boyd, that's his 3rd stolen base of the summer, 28th as a team now for the Aviators. They continue to lead the prospect league in that department.
Cooper had full count, nobody on 2 outs with Incinelli. Now he's got 2-0 behind the batter and runners on second and third.
2-0 offering from Cooper, fouled straight back into the netting. One of those 5 hits for Ferguson last night was his first extra base hit of the season. He ripped a double in that 12-2 win over the Corn Belters. Double would certainly score a pair of runs here. 2-1. Breaking ball lined up the middle, over the glove of Carter Rich into center. One's home. Abernathy's throw is going to be cut off. And it's a 2-run, 2-out single for Jack Ferguson. So 3 straight singles have given the Aviators the first lead of the game. And the 3rd and 4th RBIs of the summer for Jack Ferguson.
A lot of hard contact. The last 2 hits after the soft single from Incinelli. They're squaring up these balls from Cooper.
First pitch to Gavin Smith, low and away. And it was an incredible play by Smith in the top half of this inning. On a 4-6-3 double play ball, the throw from Ferguson was high, pulled Smith off the bag, but he was able to leap up, snag the ball, touch second base, and fire a strike over to first to get Jackson Snitko by a step. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Runner taking off for second base. Throw down from Miller is good. Guns down Jack Ferguson, stealing, but not before Ferguson is able to punish Adam Cooper with a 2-run single to give the Aviators an early 2-0 advantage. We're through 1 here at Loeb Stadium. Aviators lead your Bean Ballers 2-0. Back here, top of the second, in an early deficit, the Bean Ballers face here on this Sunday. Game number 6 of the Prospect League season. Truman, Griessel, Daniel, Herzog. And, well, Daniel, we've now seen it back-to-back games. Bean Ballers have not scored themselves in the first inning after scoring in the first 4 first innings of the summer, and now facing an early 2-0 hole.
Yeah, just 2-out single there from Inchinelli really changed the course of that first inning. After that, it was 2 hard singles from the 5 and 6 hitters, or the 4-5 hitters, Boyd and Ferguson, in that Aviators lineup. Decatur hoping to get one back, at least in this inning.
First pitch from Gwynn to the league's leading hitter, O'Neal Feliz, is a fastball outside. Feliz last night was 2 for 2 with an RBI double and also 3 walks drawn. A .762 on base percentage for the right-handed slugger. 1-0 is a breaking ball, low 2-0.
Gwynn staying away from Feliz. Also seems to be relying on the breaking ball a little more.
2-0 from Gwynn. Fastball in the corner for a strike, 2-1. His first 3 at-bats last night for Feliz against the Dans were all walks before finally he got a single in the 8th and then that RBI double in the 11th. 2-1. Another fastball in the corner, 2-2.
Not sure if Feliz agreed with that, but that's almost how you have to pitch him. Pitch him purely away, and almost recommended, I would say, to throw a few balls first. But you can get at least one in there.
2-2. Hit high in the air, deep to left center. Long run for Caraway, but he's there, right in front of the warning track to make the grab.
Yeah, really hard contact there from Feliz, but it just hangs up here. Very far out to center, 414, and that was further into the alley. So plenty of distance on it, but you got to hit it a long way to get one out here at Loeb Stadium.
340 down the left field line, 315 down the right field line, then 375 and 362 to the power alleys, and 414 to dead center. First pitch from Gwynn is fouled off by Garrett Allen. It's also interesting to say that Feliz came in 8 for 12 on the season, and all 4 outs he had made were strikeouts. So that flyout was the first out Feliz has made, not via the punch out. The 0-1 to Allen, upstairs, 1-1.
Which means his BABIP, his batting average on balls in play, is now no longer 1,000, so you can kiss that love story goodbye.
1-1, in there. Strike 2 to Allen, who got the night off last night against the Dans, and he was 1 for 4 back on Friday with a double against the O'Fallon Hoots. Gwynn 1 strike away from 2 outs, but he misses. Below the knees in the outside corner with a fastball.
Very close on that one. He seems to be really hitting his bottom outside corner spot relatively frequently, especially with the fastball.
2-2, now 3-2. Carter Rich reached on a single back in the first. It's the only base runner Gwynn has allowed thus far. Payoff pitch. Chased it upstairs. Gets Allen swinging for the second out here in the second inning.
Yeah, Truman, that's something we noticed last night as well. The high fastball seemed to be sort of a hole in the swing of many Bean Ballers. Allen just can't get quite up to that high cheddar from Jackson Gwynn.
First strikeout of the day for Gwynn, now 4th of the summer. Brings in Jagger Snitko with 2 outs and nobody on. He's first pitch swinging, loops one into shallow center. It's going to fall for a hit. It's maybe a little 2-out magic at the Bean Baller zone as Snitko reaches on the 2-out knock. Fourth hit of the season for Snitko. Brings in Jackson Miller, making his second start of the Prospect League season. Breaking ball drops in for a strike. Now marks both starts that Miller has made have both come on the road, as he started Thursday down in Marion, Illinois against the Thrillbillies. Went 0 for 2, scored a run, and drew 2 walks. The 0-1 low and away. Miller still searching for that first hit of his season. The Aviators got 3 straight singles in the bottom half of this first inning to plate 2. That's where they lead 2-0 here, top the second. The 1-1 to Miller, low and away again, 2-1. Gwynn retired O'Neal Feliz on a deep flyout before striking out Garrett Allen. Then Jagger Snitko ambushed a fastball to give the Bean Ballers a 2-out base runner. 2-1. Breaking ball blocked by Pelletier. Making now 3-1 on the Bean Ballers backstop. Miller in the left-handed batter's box. Gwynn deals on 3-1. Miller crushes one deep down the right field line into the corner, and it's off the wall. Snitko's headed for third. Miller will dig into second. Arroyo will throw up the stop sign. And just like that, the Bean Ballers have runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
Very sharply hit. Probably the hardest hit ball of the afternoon. And definitely the hardest hit ball we've seen from Jackson Miller this season. That wall in right field, quite a bit taller than it is in all other parts of the park. Of course, it is a short porch out there, but absolutely smoked so hard that Snitko has to be held at third. So now runners in scoring position for Caleb Kreider.
First pitch to Kreider. In there for a strike from Gwynn. It was a frozen rope hit from Miller's first hit now of the summer. Gives way to a fellow man who's still looking for that first knock. Caleb Kreider in his third game, 0 for 7 so far. The 0-1. Breaking ball inside corner and missed. Draws some groans from the crowd. Thought they clipped the corner. Now the 1-1. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Kreider was off the last couple of nights before going 0 for 3 with 2 walks against the Thrillville Thrillbillies. Gwynn 1 strike away from getting out of this second inning jam. The 1-2. Chased it low and away, and he gets Kreider swinging. So a 2-out single and a 2-out double from the Bean Ballers are stranded in scoring position. We're headed to the bottom of the second here from Loeb Stadium. Still 2-0 as you're listening to the Decatur Bean Ballers on the official YouTube channel. Bean Ballers leave 2 in scoring position in the top half of the second as Adam Cooper back out for his second inning of work. And he'll look to settle down after the Aviators got 2 runs with 2 outs in their bottom half of the first, their first time up with the bats. Zach Pelletier, the first man to greet Gavin Smith, who was at bat in the bottom half of the first when Jack Ferguson was caught stealing to end the innings. The first pitch to Smith in the dirt for a ball. One 0 now from Cooper. Swung on and missed from Smith. Smith finished up his senior season at Florida Southern College, where he appeared in 31 games this past spring. Fastball way outside, snagged by Miller, 2-1. Before that, he spent 3 years at Indiana University of Kokomo, where he hit .332 over the course of 120 games. Hitting exactly 300 to start this summer. Gets out of the way of a breaking ball inside. Finds himself in a successful hitter's count, 3-1. Three 1 offering from Cooper. Grounded foul towards the Aviator dugout, 3-2.
Cooper's done well to get back in counts. I'll give him credit for that. He's been throwing a lot of strikes. No free passes so far, which has been an issue for some of the other Beanballer arms. But, of course, the 3 hits he gave up last inning with 2 away.
And the 3-2 from Cooper misses way high and away. And it's a leadoff walk to start the second, drawn by Gavin Smith.
Well, there is the first free pass, right as I say that.
Last night, Beanballer pitchers just walked 4 batters. Marked the first loss where they didn't walk at least 9. Zach Pelletier, the catcher, now digs in with a man on first, nobody out. First pitch to him is in the dirt, blocked by Miller. Pelletier was 0 for 2 with a pair of walks drawn on opening night against Beanballer pitching.
Cooper seeming to overcook his pitches quite a few times here. Missing away and missing in, but a lot of them low.
1-0. Inside again, 2-0. There's 9 free passes at the Beanballer pitching staff offered up to the Aviators on opening night back on Tuesday in Decatur, combined between 5 pitchers. It's the 2-0. Gets past Miller under the glove. And so Smith will move up to second base on the wild pitch.
A lot of pitches thrown by Cooper back in the first inning. I wonder if that was just a lot all at once, and now seems to be a little fatigued, not quite finding his spots this inning.
Down 3-0 in the count. Gives a check over to Smith at second base. Now steps off. Aviators had a stolen base in the first inning. Gabe Boyd swiped second base before scoring on the Jack Ferguson 2-run single. 3-0 from Cooper. Inside corner for strike 1. Infield shaded around just a little bit to the left. Jagger Snitko up the middle at second base in double play depth, while Carter Rich deep in the hole at short. It's the 3-1 in the dirt, ball 4. Back-to-back walks now offered by Adam Cooper to start the second. And here comes out of the dugout John Toney, the pitching coach, to have a chat with his right-handed arm.
Missing a lot low, just holding it a little too long, it seems. He's messing around with his hands. I wonder if has been getting maybe a little too much of a grip on the ball. It's what sometimes happens. But
well, it's also one of those for Cooper. He has a very herky-jerky movement. I would not say fluid. I would definitely say it's a rocky road that Cooper rides to get the ball the 60 feet 6 inches required from the mound to home plate.
We've been talking about it. It's just so late in the season that there are at this point, few guys we really need to mention with this, but possibly it's just a little bit of first game jitters as well for Cooper making his Bean Ballers debut.
So Tony back to the dugout. Double play is in order. Force out at every base except third. Smith at second, Pelletier at first. Both drew walks. Dean Hanna digs in. Still nobody out. Aviators up 2-0. Here in the bottom of the second. Hanna squares around, but the bunt hits him. So it's a foul ball for strike one. Corners are in for the Bean Ballers. Jackson Snitko at first. Caleb Kreider at third. Rich and Jagger Snitko up the middle of double play depth. The 0-1. Hanna not going. Pitch inside. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. The Aviators' first baseman. Just 1 hit in his first 10 at-bats so far this season. Now Cooper steps off, gives a check over to second base. Back in time is Gavin Smith. Cooper comes set, and he fires home. Ball low. Aviators have only grounded into 1 double play this season. That was Gabe Boyd, excuse me. 2-1 from Cooper. Inside, 3-1. Now Cooper about to risk walking the bases loaded, with Rodney Rachel, the 9-hole hitter, standing on deck.
A lot of misses so far this inning. 2 free passes and a ball away from a third.
3-1 inside. Ball 4. And the Aviators have opened the second inning with 3 straight walks. Looking to pad their early 2-0 lead. It'll be Rodney Rachel digs into the batter's box. There is movement right now in the Bean Ballers bullpen. First pitch to Rodney Rachel. He lines one up the middle on a hop. Rich goes to second for 1. Snitko to first in time for 2. 1 run does score, but 2 outs on the 6-4-3 double play.
That's absolutely a result you're able to stomach if you're Adam Cooper right now. You were just incapable of throwing strikes, and then a first pitch swinging from Rachel laces this one. Rich to Snitko, and now you're just an out away from getting out of this inning after you had the bases loaded with nobody out.
Rachel definitely helping out Cooper there. Bo Caraway digs back in. He's first pitch swinging, chops one high, but it rolls foul outside of third. Caraway worked an 8-pitch battle against Cooper to open the game. Ultimately rolled over and grounded out to Jagger Snitko at second. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. Caraway, this is just his second start so far this summer. He was 1 for 4 in his first start. Came last night down in Normal. 1-1 popped up, but it drifts way out of play. Now 1-2 to the Aviators leadoff man. One-two home from Cooper. Upstairs above the belt, 2-2. One run already home the inning. Zach Pelletier stands at third. Pitch in the dirt off of Jackson Miller, and Pelletier will score. A ball that only made it about 57 feet. Miller did everything he could to try and smother that ball. but it kicked off his chest protector, and the Aviators have put 2 runs up in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, you're thinking after the double play, one good pitch and you can get out of it, but what you forget is one bad pitch and that runner scores regardless of what happens with the hitter.
Ground to the right side. Snitko under the glove and down the right field line. Caraway will fly. He's into second base and he'll put on the brakes. He was looking for 3, but Jamie Sailors threw up the stop sign, and it's a 2-out double for Bo Caraway Jr.
Certainly not the first outing for Adam Cooper that Gabe Arroyo wanted. Bases load with no outs, and then you get the double play. You trade a run for 2 outs, which is absolutely a situation. The Bean Ballers think they win that trade, but then a wild pitch and now a double, and the inning continues for Lafayette.
Sage Adams struck out swinging first time up against Cooper. First pitch this time, he clubs one left field, but right at Garrett Allen, who makes the grab to retire the side, but 2 runs home on 1 hit. We're headed to the top of the 3rd. Bean Ballers have some work to do. Down 4-0.
C.J. Scheffel leading off the top of the 3rd inning, still looking for his first hit in a Decatur Bean Ballers uniform. Hoping to stir up a little something with this Bean Ballers lineup. Already 4-0 Aviators lead here, top of the 3rd. Jackson Gwynn deals a strike to Scheffel. Now 1-1 the count to the Bean Ballers right fielder. Scheffel, just his 2nd appearance on the season, had 2 at-bats in Decatur's blowout victory over the Terre Haute Rex on Wednesday. Ground out and a punch out. Check swing, no swing from Scheffel, so 2-1 now the count. Spent last season at Eureka College. He's a native of Springfield, the capital of Illinois. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
He's taking the spot of Matthew Novominski, who's usually been in the outfield for the Bean Ballers this summer, but Sunday, Novominski's day off, allows Scheffel chance to shine.
The 2-2 swing and a miss. Scheffel goes down swinging. That'll bring us back to the top of the order, and Brandon Abernathy, the man in center today, as he shifts over, making room for Scheffel and Novominski out of the lineup today.
Yeah, and Abernathy hit it hard his first time up, but lined right out to the shortstop, Gavin Smith. Bean Ballers had a chance last inning. Second and third, 2 outs, not able to come through. They give up 2 more in the bottom of the second. It's just about chipping away now. Finding base runners, getting Gwynn just uncomfortable out there.
The first pitch taken for a strike on the outside edge. 0-1 the count on Abernathy. A lot of movement in Abernathy's stance. He swings the bat around, wiggles it back and forth, and then circles the barrel as he prepares for the pitch. The pitch, that one, a ball. Count now even 1-1. It's a bustling area right around Loeb Stadium, a water park just outside left field. As that one's taken for a ball. 2-1 now the count to Brandon Abernathy. The 2-1 from Gwynn. Downstairs ball 3. So after a first pitch strike, it's now 3-1. Abernathy, the speedster, a pitch away from a walk. The 3-1 fouled back into the screen, 3-2. I was wondering, were we about to see an at-bat where Brandon Abernathy doesn't take the bat off his shoulder?
Well, and so far for Gwynn, 2 of the 3 hits he's given up have been on 3-ball counts. So when these Bean Baller hitters have been able to get deep in the count versus Gwynn, it's usually favored Decatur.
So the full count, upstairs, ball 4. Brandon Abernathy trots to first base. That'll make way for Carter Rich, who blooped a single his first time up. Had 2 infield hits yesterday, including a bunt single, and plenty of speed in these first 2 hitters. Carter Rich certainly runs hard, but a single, but he was cut down after a 4-6-3 double play from Jackson Snitko to end the first. Pickoff throw from Gwynn to no avail. Abernathy slides back safely. The first pitch to Rich. Cracked in the air to center. Fading over and under it is the center fielder, Bo Caraway, who nonchalantly makes the catch. Very little movement had to be made by Bo Caraway on that one.
Well, good job there from Gwynn back in the zone. Like the swing from Rich, trying to ambush something, just got under it. He stays more on top of that ball. It's a line drive in the gap. Now 2 outs, and, well, again, we'll see. Do the Bean Ballers have any of that 2-out magic that has helped out the Aviators through their first 2 innings?
So now runner on first, 2 outs, and the batter is Jackson Snitko. Grounded into a double play his last time up, but had a bloop single to extend the 11th inning last night against the Danville Dans, but eventually Decatur fell 5-4 in 11. Foul tip in and out of the glove of the catcher Pelletier. So 1-1 the count now on Jackson Snitko.
Well, it's just a game of missed opportunities. I mean, the Bean Ballers had runners at first and second, nobody out in the 10th, and couldn't score the game-winning run. Ultimately give up 3 in the top of the 11th. Then you got 2 in the bottom of the 11th, but you just couldn't come through. Now you find yourself here trailing big early.
The 1-1, Gwynn to Snitko, breaking ball upstairs. 2-1 now the count on the Bean Ballers' first baseman. Cut and a miss Strike 2. Decatur only down 1 in the hit column. Already 3 hits for the Bean Ballers. Meanwhile, the Aviators with 4, but 4-0 is the Lafayette lead here at Loeb Stadium in the top of the 3rd. The 2-2 from Gwynn. Grounded off to the left side, softly hit. Boyd picks it up, throw, gets away from Dean Hanna, pulls him off the base. It'll be scored as E5, a throwing error on the third baseman Boyd, but now 2 runners aboard, and that'll bring up the dangerous bat of O'Neal Felice.
Well, it was just a good play from Boyd. I mean, he got to the ball, he fielded it, took a shuffle, stayed through it, but then he just let that arm sail on him, and that throw pulled Hanna off the bag. He let his momentum of going kind of away from first base, let his throw go that way. He got to throw it through first base. Didn't need to rush the throw, but now here's an opportunity for the Bean Ballers.
Was not hit hard by Snitko, but probably had a little more time than he thought, as a big cut and a miss on the first pitch does Felice.
Felice hit it hard his first time up, but flied out to deep left center field. It was just away from Gwynn the first time these two did battle, and if he stays that way, I'd like to see Felice try and rip one down the right field line.
Big cut and a miss again, 0-2. The count to Felice. Anything to the outfield would likely score the speedy Abernathy on second base, especially with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Felice entered today leading the league in both batting average and on base percentage. That one fouled away off to the right. Staying alive is Felice. 0-2 still the count on the Bean Ballers cleanup hitter. Second consecutive start for him in the designated hitter role after a couple starts at catcher and a start at first base, along with an off day in the first 4 games for Decatur. The 0-2 Gwynn to Felice. Outside, ball 1.
And Felice has been susceptible to the strikeouts. 4 strikeouts out of the 5 outs that he has made up to this point this season. Gwynn tried to see if he could get him to chase the fastball away. We'll see if he goes back and challenges here on 1-2. Maybe he goes with the breaking ball down low.
The 1-2. Lofted into shallow center 3. Aviators converge, and giving it up to Bo Caraway as Jack Ferguson. Caraway makes the catch for out number 3. Softly hit off the bat of Felice. The Bean Ballers get 2 runners aboard, but they're stranded. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lafayette still leading 4-0 here. We've got a pitching change here. So Adam Cooper's day done after 2 innings. He gives up 4 runs. And the lefty arm, Caden Davis, now out to the mound. Still A 0 ERA on the season through 3 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, and just a .55 whip, so just over half a walk or hit per inning pitched for Davis on the season. He's been certainly one of the most dependable arms out of the Bean Ballers bullpen for Gabe Arroyo.
Well, when we saw him back when they traveled down to Thrillville back on Thursday, and he was good at just keeping the Bean Ballers in it, throwing up zeros for them, and that's what he needs to do right here. Down 4-0, just keep it at that score, see if this offense can finally wake up.
The first hitter is the designated hitter, Isaac Inginelli. First pitch brushes him, so leadoff runner aboard for Caden Davis.
Particularly not the way you want to start if you are Davis, who comes from Olney Central College. Appeared in 5 games through 5 innings, 5 strikeouts and a couple of walks. Gave up just 1 run in his relatively small sample size. Again, the way he pitched on Thursday over in Marion, he could really turn into one of the most dependable arms, and especially a lefty out of the bullpen for Gabe Arroyo.
Not a hard thrower is Davis, but mixes in that slow curve well as the first pitch fastball is in there for a strike to the third baseman, Gabe Boyd. Boyd, a native of Memphis, attended the University of last season as he laces one up the middle for a base hit. Hard hit, so Incinelli held to just station to station. And the first 2 runners are aboard for Lafayette here in the third after putting 2 across in each of the first 2 innings.
And with Davis not being that hard of a thrower, he's not going to provide the juice, but it was just a great swing by Boyd. We've seen him twice now. Pitch down the middle, he just goes right back up the middle, and he's got a pair of singles through 2 at-bats.
So another lefty bat now. Jack Ferguson, the second baseman, steps up to the plate. Slow curveball in there for a strike. Ferguson hails from Indianapolis. Spent last season at the Indiana Institute of Technology as another curveball. This one misses. So count now even 1-1. Davis takes a peek at second base, now delivers home. That one low. 2-1 now the count to Jack Ferguson. Rich holding Incinelli on at second. Snitko not worrying about Boyd at first. That one a breaking ball in the zone. Count 2-2 now to Jack Ferguson.
This lefty-lefty matchup. It's where you got to get in if you are Davis. 2-2, can't risk another free pass. Go right after him.
The 2-2 runner goes to third. The throw down is late, and stealing third base is Isaac Incinelli off the lefty, Caden Davis. So runners now at the corners. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. And Lafayette threatening again.
That's one of those rare ones. The left-handed hitter in Ferguson. It's an open throw for Miller to third, but a great jump from Incinelli, knowing it was a breaking ball, in there easily.
The full count pitch. Runner goes to second. Fouled away off to the right. So Gabe Boyd is forced to trot back to first base. And we'll do it again. Still a full count on Jack Ferguson.
That's one that Ferguson knows he just missed. He had a smile on his head. He read that breaking ball all the way just way out in front of it. Got to be careful if you are Davis. You got to offer him a pitch here on 3-2 that's tempting but still in the zone.
The full count pitch fouled back into the screen. And instead a balk is called, so Incinelli scores Boyd over to second base. Davis asking for an explanation. Doesn't necessarily like what he hears, but it's a balk nonetheless. And the first run across for Lafayette here in the third inning, 5-0. Aviators now lead.
Just didn't come set, did Davis. A little too quick. You always just take a breath. Don't be in such a rush.
The full count pitch. Breaking ball misses, and a walk surrendered to Jack Ferguson. The first 3 runners reach safely for Lafayette here in the third. That'll make way for the shortstop, Gavin Smith.
Two free passes already in the inning, and then, a third free pass via the balk. Davis a little shaky here in his second appearance.
First pitch, fastball in there for a strike to Gavin Smith. Smith hails from Logansport, Indiana, within an hour away, just 42 miles down the road. The next one, that one misses just off the edge. 1-1 the count to Gavin Smith. The 1-1 to Smith. Runner goes towards third. Grounded left side. Rich diving to keep it inside the infield, but he was running to his left, so has to just put it in his pocket. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out still here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, it was going to be a hard play anyway for Rich, but a great job to keep it in the infield and not allow a run to score because Boyd was stealing third, and the Aviators are not afraid to go on the base paths. And so I feel like Davis out there now, whoever could come out of the bullpen for the Bean Ballers, you got to have your timings mixed up. Keep these Aviators on the toes because right now they are reading on the base paths very well.
That one grounded up the middle. Jagger Snitko will take it himself to 2 and toss to his brother. So another double play turned by this Bean Ballers infield, but another run scores. Now 6-0 Lafayette leads.
The infield is sure-handed as ever for the Bean Ballers, but again, just free passes come across to score. Would have loved to have that ground ball earlier, but a great job by Snitko. He attacks the ball and then knows he's close to second base where he just steps on the bag with his right foot and then pushes off to throw over to first.
So now 2 away, runner on third still for Lafayette, and the batter is the first baseman, Dean Hanna. A native of the Lone Star State, hails from China Spring, Texas. Count now 2-0 after back-to-back balls from Caden Davis. Hanna, the right-handed hitter, spent last season at UL Monroe. The 2-0. That one in there for a strike. 2-1 now the count to the 8-hole hitter for Lafayette. And the 2-1 misses away. 3-1 now the count to Dean Hanna. A lot of action on the base paths today for Lafayette. Already 6 hits. That one cut and a miss on a breaking ball. Out in front was Hanna. Count now 2-2. Rather a full count on Dean Hanna. The full count pitch from Davis. Outside, ball 4. So now runners at the corners with 2 away and already 2 in for Lafayette. The Aviators lead 6-0 here in the bottom of the third inning.
And you got to give credit to the Aviators. They have 6 hits today, but it's also 6 free base runners have been given out via a hit by pitch or a walk by this Decatur pitching staff. And it's just the difference between good and great teams. And if the Bean Ballers want to be great in their inaugural season, they're going to have consistent outings on the mound.
First pitch to Rodney Rachel fouled off his own foot. Rachel grounded into a double play his last time up, which a runner ended up scoring on for Lafayette. That was last inning. Rachel fouls the next pitch away, quickly behind 0-2. Davis home for the 0-2. Outside, ball one. A big hole to the right side with Jackson Snitko holding on the runner hand. As that one's lined right to Jagger Snitko playing second base. Not able to find that hole was Rachel. So 2 more runs come across for Lafayette. We go to the 4th inning. Aviators lead 6-0. All Aviators here so far at Loeb Stadium in Lafayette. The hometown kid, Jackson Gwynn, out for his 4th inning of work. He's given up 3 hits through the first 3 innings, and Lafayette leading 6-0 as Garrett Allen, the Bean Ballers left fielder, steps up to the plate.
A lot of work to be done for the Bean Ballers, but again, it all starts with one. You can't hit a 6-run homer as of yet in baseball, but it just starts with one. Passing the baton, slowly starting chipping away, and again, I said this last name, but just getting Jackson Gwynn out of his rhythm.
Certainly in rhythm now is Gwynn. Pitches a first pitch strike to Allen. Working quickly the 0-1. Fouled away off to the right, out of play.
Again, I've just been impressed with Gwynn, the command he has. Just 1 walk so far through the first 3 innings. No runs allowed. He's put his pitches where he's wanted to, and he's mixed his breaking ball in nicely.
The 0-2 home to Allen. Called strike 3. Allen caught looking, tossing it around. Are the Aviators infield, as there's out number 1 on just 4 pitches, or rather 3 pitches, a 3-pitch strikeout. There's action in the Bean Ballers bullpen. Right-hander Tyler Powell up throwing around.
Well, that's one of those at-bats right there to Garrett Allen where I think he was sitting breaking ball on 0-2 and so got a heater right by him, and he went quickly back to the dugout.
Jagger Snitko steps up to the plate. Singled in his first time up for the Bean Ballers. Caught a liner, has played a part in a few double plays so far today for Decatur as well. That one check swing, chopped back to the mound. Gwynn has it, shovels it to Hannah, and there's a quick out, number 2.
Again, just uncomfortable is what I would say Gwynn has just made these beanballer hitters. I don't know if it's not seeing his pitches, he's just overwhelming them, but just hasn't looked like the same beanballer lineup that we saw through the first 5 games.
Jackson Miller, the catcher, up to the plate. Scorched a double off the wall in right field his last time up. First pitch to him, low for a ball. The righty dealing quickly. That one grounded to the right side. Easy play for Jack Ferguson for a quick out, number 3. Just 7 pitches on the inning for Jackson Gwynn. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-0 Aviators lead. A new arm on the mound, yet again for the Bean Ballers. Tyler Powell on for his 2nd appearance for Decatur. He started in Decatur's loss at Thrillville down in Marion on Thursday. Pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 runs, all of them earned, but just 2 hits and a punch out in his first outing. He's set to face the top of the order for Lafayette, Bo Caraway, stepping up to the plate.
Well, and for him, it was, again, the free passes that hurt him. 3 walks and 2 hit by pitches in his 2 innings of work. So if he can keep those down, again, I feel like the name of the game is simple. I mean, pitching is hard, but attack these hitters and just challenge them. You have a great defense behind you. See what happens when they hit it. Yeah, they have 6 hits today, but it's because of the result of some free passes.
Not seeming to attack Caraway so far. 3-0 now the count after 3 straight balls off the right arm of Powell. So 1 inning was all it was for Caden Davis after Adam Cooper just 2 innings in his first Bean Ballers outing. The 3-0 in there for a strike. 3-1 now the count to the Aviators center fielder, Bo Caraway. The 3-1 cracked on the ground. Snitko has it, tosses it to his brother for out number 1. Jagger to Jackson on the 4-3 putout.
See, just right there. You fall down 3-0, you get a strike across, then you get Caraway to roll over on something. And it was a good pitch, too. It wasn't on the middle of the plate. That pitch was on the black, on the outer corner to the left-handed hitting Caraway. But that's what you want to see out of Powell, who didn't pitch at SIUE this past spring.
Fouling away the first pitch is the right fielder, Sage Adams, in the 2 spot. That's something that sometimes feels like you're giving one back. If you draw 3 straight balls and then with 3-1, you swing and you hit something, but it ends up being an out. It feels like just a missed opportunity as that one hits Adams on the 0-1. So Adams now aboard, the second Aviators player to be hit today. Making way for the designated hitter, Isaac Inchinelli. First pitch to Inchinelli, as inching off of first is Adams. That one misses, ball, or rather in there for a strike. 0-1, now the count to Inchinelli. The 0-1 runner goes inside, almost hit Inchinelli. And in there safely is Sage Adams with the stolen base. Time called, Jackson Miller out to have a chat with Powell.
There's a reason that the Aviators lead the league in stolen bases. Just the anticipation and the instincts they have on the base pass. You can try to change up your timing, but they are going to get a great jump every single time. It just seems like 1 through 9, this team steals bases at a high clip, and that's how you manufacture runs sometimes. You get a runner in scoring position, now a base hit could score him.
Yeah, they've been testing Miller all day. He has caught 1 runner stealing. So now 2-1 the count to Inchinelli after the second ball from Powell. Powell peeking back at second. He delivers. Grounded down the third base line. Fair ball. Extra bases for Inchinelli. Coming in to score is Sage Adams. Rinse and repeat. Inchinelli replaces Adams at second base and brings him in with an opposite field double.
Well, again, just right there, another result of a free pass eventually coming around to score. It's a hit by pitch and then a stolen base. And then you give up the hit, and that's what good teams do. That's what great teams do. They capitalize on your mistakes. I mean, last night in Danville, it was a 1-run loss for the Bean Ballers. In that 11th inning, an error allowed a runner to get to third. That would eventually be the 5th run the Dans would score, and that was the run that ultimately decided this game.
Yeah, not very hardly hit by Inchinelli, just tucked inside that third base line, but Caleb Kreider wasn't hugging the line, seeing as Inchinelli swings from the left side and easily into second base is the Aviators' designated hitter. Now an 0-1 count to the third baseman, Gabe Boyd. The 0-1 swing and a miss, strike 2. So still 1 out after a Bo Caraway ground out to start the inning. It's been walk, stolen base, double, and already a run on the board for the 4th straight inning for Lafayette after 3 straight 2s to start the game. The 0-2, that one low, ball 1. One and 2. Now to Gabe Boyd. The pitch from Powell, fouled off to the right, out of play. We'll do it again.
Another layer to this Aviator offense is just how impressive they are hitting with 2 strikes. It seems like they get better in counts with 2 strikes. And they're not afraid to swing at things, foul pitches off, and then wait for their pitch to hit, and then just be short and quick to the ball.
Bouncing off of second base was Incinelli, so Powell just lobs one over there to move him back. Boyd has his pants drawn up high, stirrup socks, navy blue on white, and then navy blue cleats, bright white batting gloves with yellow wrist tape. Takes a ball inside. Count even 2-2. You talked about it, Truman. They just work the counts. Really good at fouling balls off. Adam Cooper threw a lot of pitches back in the first inning to Aviators hitters. Was probably part of the reason he was so shaky to start the second. So now the 2-2 from Powell. Grounded through to the right side. Hardly hit, so because of the hard contact, Incinelli held to third. So now runners at the corners for the Aviators. Still just one away here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, nice 3-for-3 day for Gabe Boyd. Make it now 8 hits for the Aviators, not even through 4 innings. It's a clear reason why they are 5-0, and they are going to be the team to beat in this Eastern Conference because they are looking like juggernauts to repeat as Eastern Conference champs.
This offense is certainly a well-oiled machine. Already 8 hits on the day, 7 runs for Lafayette as Powell lobs one over to Jackson Snitko to cause Gabe Boyd to slide back. Jack Ferguson now the batter. Meanwhile, Bean Ballers just 3 hits and no runs on the day. 7-0 Lafayette leads as first pitch in there for a strike to Ferguson from Powell. Check back throw, and Incinelli, or rather Gabe Boyd off of first base in a pickle. Incinelli will score. Tagged out is Boyd by Jackson Snitko, but another run, the 4th straight 2-run inning so far for the Aviators. Now 2 outs, both runners off the base. 1 scores, 1 out.
Not sure if that was a design play. It seemed like Boyd was trying to steal second on his own, but then the Bean Ballers were just playing for the out, not worried about that run over at third. But it also goes to show you, Daniel, today, out of the 8 runs that the Aviators have scored, just 3 of them have qualified as RBIs.
Boyd doing well that time to just stay in the rundown as that one misses for ball 2 to Jack Ferguson. Stays in there long enough for Incinelli to easily trot across for the 8th run of the day as foul ball off of Ferguson back into the screen. 2-2, the count even. 2 outs, nobody on here in the last of the 4th inning.
In put it in perspective, you've had a run score on a wild pitch, a run score on a balk, run score right there. As much as we've given credit to the Bean Ballers' opportunities they've had on the base paths, the Aviators make that look like middle school, the way they run the bases.
A lot of traffic on the base paths today as that one flied out towards left. Schaffel looking back, and it's out of here. Jack Ferguson goes yard. And this dreadful start for the Decatur Bean Ballers continues. Now 9-0 after the solo shot from Jack Ferguson. Leaves the yard over that high wall out to right. And Scheffel trotting back to the wall seemed to be sort of just a formality there. He knew that one was leaving here.
That was just a good swing from Ferguson, who's had a fantastic day at the dish. That's what good hitters do. They pay for mistakes, and that was a mistake from Tyler Powell.
Now 9-0 Lafayette. That'll make way for the shortstop, Gavin Smith. The Logansport, Indiana native steps up. The 1-0 tapped down the third base line, and doing well to let it roll foul is Caleb Kreider. So 1-1 now the count to Gavin Smith. But already 9 hits through 4 innings. It seemed the free pass hasn't really been the issue for Decatur pitchers. They've been throwing strikes today, but the Lafayette bats have certainly been hitting them.
Still 7 free passes, and I think I brought up the point. It was the results of those free passes. The hits have been the nail in the coffin after it started to crack when you allowed those free passes.
The 1-1 to Smith. That one in there for a strike. So really just the relentlessness of the Aviators' bats has been the problem for Decatur today. The 1-2 from Powell. Cut on and missed. In the dirt, Miller tags out Gavin Smith, but not before 3 more pushed across from Lafayette. We go to the 5th. 9-0 Aviators lead here on a Sunday afternoon at Loeb Stadium.
Back here, top of the 5th. It's been a long afternoon for the Decatur Bean Ballers in their first week as a franchise. Lots of ups and downs, but this just might be the lowest of the low through 1 week. Down 9-0 entering the top of the 5th is Truman Griessel, as well as Daniel Herzog. Be on the road with you for every Bean Baller road game through the end of July. But 9-0 they trail. Box score reads 0 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Bean Ballers, 9 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Aviators. And they've still yet to solve the puzzle that is Jackson Gwynn as Caleb Kreider takes the ball. First pitch to begin the 5th. Their best opportunity came in the 2nd when they had runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs, but could not score. It was Kreider who struck out swinging against Gwynn. His fastball sizzles on the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1's inside, 2-1. And, you know, sometimes as a team, when you've had some close losses, you've had some losses where your bullpen has blown the lead. This was just one where the Lafayette Aviators led from the beginning, and it's one that you just kind of got to tip your cap to the better team on an afternoon.
Yeah, the first time against Lafayette, it was a lot more just the Bean Ballers doing it to themselves with the pitching staff. Today, the Lafayette bats have been phenomenal.
They definitely have been phenomenal. We saw a homer last inning off the bat of one of them. It's Kreider. Rips one into left field. He'll be on with a leadoff single. First hit of the season for Caleb Kreider. And the 4th hit as a team.
A solid job there from Kreider. Not very hard contact, but lofts it into left field. He's aboard, and that's really all you can ask for sometimes from a guy who has been struggling so far with the Bean Ballers.
Now C.J. Scheffel steps in. First pitch to him. He chases the pitch in the outside corner. Strike 1. He also struck out swinging his first time up against Gwynn. 4 strikeouts through 4 innings for the right-handed arm on the mound. It's the 0-1 breaking ball. Home plate umpire is going to say he did go around, so 0-2 quickly to Scheffel.
That one was close. Not sure if he did, but that one wasn't really close to the zone. Not sure why he felt the need to even swing at that one.
The 0-2 from Gwynn. Fouled off. Stays alive for at least another pitch. Scheffel transferred to Eureka College this past collegiate season after spending 2025 with Spoon River College. He just played in 4 total games over the last 2 years. But not new to the Prospect League. Second year back in the Prospect League for Scheffel. As the 0-2 home is blocked in the dirt by Pelletier. CJ Scheffel was over in Springfield, Illinois with the Lucky Horseshoes in 2025. He just went 1 for 13 in 5 games he appeared in, though. It's Golden Rule Entertainment that owns the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes is the same ownership group that got the Decatur Bean Ballers in the Prospect League. Now their third team is they also own the Quincy Doggy Paddlers. First matchup between the Horseshoes and the Bean Ballers will come on Wednesday. So 1-2 outside to Scheffel. Count evens.
Doing a good job of working his way back into the count. Had a check swing not go his way for strike 2, and since then it's been foul ball and 2 good takes that were relatively close. Not biting on Gwynn's stuff.
2-2 doesn't offer at it again. 3-2. And a nice job from Scheffel to work us all the way back. But Wednesday in Decatur will be the first time the Lucky Horseshoes and the Bean Ballers meet. And what hopes to be kind of a blossoming rivalry. Has the 3-2s upstairs. So after a leadoff single from Caleb Kreider, CJ Scheffel draws the full count walk. And the Bean Ballers have 2 men on and nobody out to begin the 5th. And the lineup card flips back over. It's Brandon Abernathy. He himself also drew a walk his last time up. He was ultimately stranded at second base, though, back in the 3rd.
2 important at-bats there from Decatur to try to get back in this thing as 2 on, nobody out, and top of the order now up for Decatur.
First pitch home from Gwynn. Upstairs. 3 straight pitches Gwynn has missed with way above the belt. As now his catcher Pelletier will go out and trot out and have a chat with him.
Gwynn spent a lot of time in the dugout, an especially long inning for the Lafayette Bats back in the 4th, so I'm wondering if he's a little bit fatigued, a little bit out of his rhythm, because he was certainly in rhythm last time up.
It was a quick 1-2-3 inning in the 4th on just 7 pitches for Gwynn.
Already had several pitches this inning, not even close to the zone.
1-0 home to Abernathy. Swing, fouls it off down the first base line. Abernathy 0 for his last 9. His last hit came back on Thursday. It was a leadoff double to start the game against the Thrillville Thrillbillies. Eventually came home to score in the inning. It's the 1-1. Breaking ball pops straight up in the air. Back towards us in the booth. But it's going to miss us by about 15 feet.
Got me excited there, Truman.
You know, there is an opportunity. This net, it's a high net, but if you get that right angle, there's plenty of foul territory behind the plate. You get that straight up right back to us, you know, just be ready. Do have the windows open today. It's a beautiful day. Clouds have rolled in, but still blue skies nonetheless. In the low 70s here on the last day of May. So if that means anything, tomorrow is going to be 95 with about 85% humidity here in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
June.
Luckily, that'll be the off day.
Off days are
the
Mondays in
Prospect
the
League.
Prospect League. Players might get their tans on to even out the farmer's tan. 1-2 is outside. Definitely know that was always me playing baseball growing up was your arms get a nice golden brown, but above, you know, the normal T-shirt line is blinding ghostly white. Had to fit in some pool days.
Oh, absolutely.
Between weekend series. 2-2 to Abernathy. Rolled on the ground towards third, and it's into left field. Kreider's going to get the wave. Rachel up with the throw, not in time, and the Bean Ballers are on the board.
Yeah, once again, those 8-9, that single from Kreider, and then a long at-bat. CJ Scheffel working a walk just shows how important that is. Of course, still way behind at the scoreboard, but Decatur something moving now. 2 on, nobody out, and already a runner in.
6th hit on the season for Brandon Abernathy. 2nd RBI of the summer, and the Bean Ballers still plenty of opportunities, but that'll do it for Jackson Gwynn. He tried to make it through 5. He's responsible for the 2 men on base right now, and he will exit with a 9-1 lead. We will step aside. New arm coming out of the bullpen for the Aviators. The man from Cloud County Community College, Bradley Janes, is Jamie Saylor's first call to the Aviator bullpen. Janes is making his 2nd appearance of the season. He's logged 2 innings thus far on the mound for the Aviators. That came back on Wednesday in a 7-2 win over the Kokomo Creek Chubs. He gave up 1 run on 1 hit with 1 strikeout in those 2 innings. Originally out of Lenexa, Kansas, and he's got to bring his fire extinguisher. A little bit of a blaze has started to brew here in the top of the 5th for the Bean Ballers. It was a single, a walk, and then another single have plated their first run. They still trail by 8, so still plenty of work to do. But it's Carter Rich who now digs in.
Yeah, 8-run lead, so certainly not a ton of pressure on Janes, but 2, 3, 4, a tough part of the order the Bean Ballers have him at with nobody out, 2 on.
First pitch in there for a strike to Rich. Especially have to think if you can get Rich and then Jackson Snitko and have 2 outs with 2 on for O'Neal Feliz, that would feel like a win, or not even have to face Feliz at all if he can induce a double play ball here. Long check to second base. Janes deals, breaking ball fouled off. Rich is 1 for 2 today. He singled back in the 1st and flew out to center his last time up.
Big hole right side along the infield. If he could deposit one in there, Scheffel might be able to score.
The 0-2 home. Swung on and missed. Fastball inside, handcuffed him. And a huge strikeout from Bradley Janes to begin his outing. Janes had 15 strikeouts over the course of 8 2/3 innings this past season at Cloud County Community College. The ERA was 7.27, but over his final 5 innings pitched across 4 appearances, he just yielded 1 run.
Big strikeout there from Janes. Talked about the fire extinguisher. That fires out pretty quickly.
Jackson Snitko rolls one over to the right side, and it gets through into right field. CJ Scheffel gets the wave. Throw incoming, and it is not in time. Ball is dropped from Pelletier. Scheffel took a face full of mitt from Pelletier, but he is safe. And Abernathy moves over to third.
Yeah, with all the gear Pelletier has, Sheffield definitely gets the worst of that exchange, but able to jar the ball loose. They certainly had him. A great throw from Sage Adams in right. He's a natural catcher, so he certainly has a cannon on him. But another run across and another base hit.
I was a little surprised Gabe Arroyo sent Sheffield just with how kind of weakly that ball was hit, but that Sheffield also didn't get the best jump from second base, but the gamble pays off. It's now 9-2 Aviators. And now runners at the corners for O'Neal Feliz. He's put the ball in the air twice, but both times, Bo Caraway has tracked it down. First pitch. Didn't want to, but he did. Strike one.
Yeah, that was an extended check swing from Feliz. Stopped his motion with the bat, even pointed at the pitcher. Certainly awkward. Not fully committed.
A one from Janes, breaking ball high and in. One ball, now one strike. For Janes, really the only ugly outing he had. He gave up 5 runs, just 3 earned in 2/3 of an inning against Colby Community College on March 21st. It's the 1-1, another breaking ball up. As other than that, the righty, very solid in his true freshman season.
Lafayette definitely likes that K to BB ratio. 15 strikeouts, just 9 walks last season at Cloud County.
2-1. Fastball grounded foul. 2-2 now to the Bean Ballers' big slugger. Three hits in the inning, 2 runs already home for the Bean Ballers. Still trail by 7 runs.
If he can get a fastball here, might be trouble for Lafayette.
The 2-2. Fastball at the knees, called strike 3, and Feliz knew it. Second strikeout of the inning for Janes, and now 2 outs.
Yeah, this one a fastball, but it's low. I bet with 2-2 he was probably expecting a breaking ball, and it's perfectly placed, just painting low and away.
So with 2 outs, it's now Garrett Allen who digs in. First pitch to him. In there for a strike. Allen looking to put the ball in play. He's 0 for 2 so far with 2 punch outs, 1 swinging, 1 looking. It's the 0-1. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Pelletier, but a great jump from Snitko, headed to second, and he slides in safely. Puts 2 runners now in scoring position for the Bean Ballers.
It's interesting. This is a turf field here at Loeb Stadium, but it seems like they do put dirt right by the bases to make the slide a little more easier on the runner.
Probably slow him down a little bit, that way not sliding past the bag. Also get your jersey dirty a little bit. As Allen cuts through a fastball up. 1-2 now.
We saw a cloud of dust from that slide from Snitko there at second. Also takes away the pain of a slide on turf. Certainly not a pleasant slide.
Janes 1 strike away from getting out of the 5th inning jam. The 1-2 home. Outside. Count evens. Allen, originally from Anaheim Hills, California, did not play this past spring at Santa Ana College. His teammate Jagger Snitko stands on deck. Two-two delivery. Breaking ball low and away. 3-2.
More action in the Decatur pen. David Mercer, the right-hander, up. We also saw him Thursday night in Thrillville, so that would be the 3rd pitcher that we see for the first time since Thrillville.
Payoff pitch from Janes. Ball 4 outside, and they're loaded up. Fantastic at-bat from Garrett Allen. Gives the baton to his teammate Jagger Snitko. with the bases loaded and still 2 outs. Snitko is 1 for 2 today. Singled all the way back in the 2nd inning and then grounded out to the starter Jackson Gwynn. His last time up in the 4th. First pitch from Janes. Fastball right there. Strike 1. It's Brandon Abernathy on 3rd. Jackson Snitko on 2nd, and Garrett Allen on 1st, who drew a walk. Bases are full of beans. Ballers down by 7, 9-2, top of the 5th. The 0-1. Rolled over by Snitko. Going to be a tough play. Boyd has it. On the run. Throw goes wide to first. Here comes Jackson Snitko. 2 runs score, and it's 9-4. Second error of the game on Boyd, and it extends the inning now for Jackson Miller.
Yeah, the second time we've seen Boyd just rush the throw. He had plenty of time this one. Jagger Snitko gets down the line a little better than his brother Jackson does, but still just rushed a little bit. He had plenty of time, and he throws wide of Hannah away from the glove side.
Miller crushed a double off the wall his first time up, and they would love another one of those. First pitch from Janes. Fastball fouled straight back into the netting.
That one looked like it might run right into my face, but thankfully the netting's right there.
And if it didn't, I'd catch it.
I appreciate that, Truman.
Didn't bring my glove, but a hand'll do.
I do trust your reflexes. You seem to be very quick-witted.
I do wear glasses, so there is that downside.
Oh.
This pitch outside, ball 1. Bean Ballers have batted around here in this 4-run 5th. Came into the inning trailing 9-0. Now just trail 9-4. 1-1 to Miller. Breaking ball on the corner. Nice pitch from Janes. 1-2. For the second time in this inning, Janes 1 strike away from getting out of it. 1-2 home. Miller on the ground towards first, off the glove of Hannah, but he keeps it in front of him, and he steps on the bag to retire the side. But the Bean Ballers, they're on the board, 4th spot, put up in the 5th. We're headed to the halfway through here at Loeb Stadium on the last day of May. It's 9-4 Aviators. After a 4th spot put up in the top half of the 5th for the Bean Ballers, David Mercer now takes over. He had an 11.25 ERA in 12 innings pitched at Arkansas State University of Mountain Home, but he makes his 2nd appearance of the season, Daniel.
Yeah, he looked very sharp through the first 2 hitters, but the free passes, hard contact, got to him a little bit down in Thrillville.
He pitched in that 9-5 loss the Bean Ballers suffered. His first pitch of his afternoon is in for a strike to Zach Pelletier. Pelletier has walked and scored a run and also grounded into a double play. The 0-1. Upstairs, high and tight, and it grazes off his helmet, it looks like. So for the 3rd straight inning, an Aviator's been hit by a pitch.
Pelletier a little late to react to that one. Looked like didn't get him by much, but certainly probably gave him a shock. It's never pleasant when you seeing a fastball straight to your head.
Dean Hanna now digs in, takes a strike. For Mercer, he went an inning and a 3rd, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. 1 strikeout with those 2 walks that Daniel talked about. The 0-1 grounded towards 3rd. Backhand stab under the glove and fair. Pelletier pulled up around 2nd, but he'll dig into 3rd. Hanna's into 2nd with a double.
I think Kreider almost thought that one was foul. He sort of gave a stab at it, but was signaling that he did not think that landed on the fair side of the left field line. Nonetheless, it's an extra base hit for Dean Hanna, first 2 aboard.
For Hanna, it's his 2nd hit of the summer and his first extra base hit. Now Rodney Rachel 0 for 2 on his line. Trying to answer the 4 runs the Bean Ballers put up in the top half of this inning as a pitch in the dirt for a ball.
Quick reflexes from Miller to keep that one in front. If he gets by, Pelletier might be looking to score.
Already seen a few runs come home via the wild pitch, courtesy of Bean Ball pitching. 1-0 upstairs. 2-0 now to Rachel. Rachel does have an RBI on the season. He also just has that 1 hit. Swings through a breaking ball for strike 1. He was looking to send that one into the water park on that swing.
There's that breaking ball we saw from Mercer Thursday night. It was looking good when he was looking sharp through those first 2 hitters. It seemed like once hitters could sort of pick up on the timing of it, that's when he ran into trouble.
2-1 is grounded heads up in the Aviator dugout. Now 2-2. Mercer made 7 appearances for the Trailblazers. He went 0-1 in his 12 innings. Did strike out 10, though. But again, like Daniel mentioned, 12 walks in those 12 innings. Has offered a free pass in this inning. It was a hit by pitch and then a double from Dean Hanna. 2-2 to Rachel. Popped up and out of play.
I think he just swung at ball 3. That one probably 2 or 3 baseballs width outside the zone. Just overcommits and he has to swing at it.
Top of the lineup and Bo Caraway is on deck. Two from Mercer. Looping curveball. Missed up in the penthouse. Needed to take the elevator down a few floors, but it's a full count. Long look home for the sign from Miller. And now it's a pitch clock violation on Mercer. He did take too long. Bases are now loaded on the walk via pitch clock violation.
Center fielder, number 6, Bo Caraway.
Bo Caraway now digs in. Bases full of Aviators. Nobody out. Caraway looking to take flight. First pitch grounded hard toward the Bean Baller dugout and foul. After it seemed like a little bit of the momentum was headed back towards the Decatur way with 4 in the top of the 5th, the Aviators have immediately responded here in the home half. 0-1 from Mercer. Looping curveball misses upstairs. That curveball got on the elevator. Just needs to keep going down. Push all the buttons.
Got off on the wrong floor.
Actually, don't push all the buttons. Any kids listening, do not push all the buttons on an elevator unless you were the only one in there. Then you can have some fun.
Well, Truman, the problem is you push all the buttons going down 10 floors, someone gets on the first floor you get to. Now you got to stick it out for 9 floors with them.
I would also like to take this time to debunk the myth that if you are falling down an elevator shaft, you can't just jump before it hits the bottom. That is not how.
It's not how it works.
Not how physics works or gravity. At least that's what they say. As the 1-1, Caraway rips it down the right field line and fair. 2 runs are going to be home. Caraway is blazing into second with a stand-up double, his second of the game. Now 11 runs here for the Aviators. 3 straight games. They have put up double-digit runs.
Possibly plenty more to come, too. Just second and third, nobody out. And that's the 5th straight inning. Not only no zeros on the board for Decatur, but at least 2 in every inning for Lafayette.
And that'll do it for David Mercer. Does not record an out. New arm coming on the mound. We'll step aside. You're listening to Decatur Bean Baller Baseball here on YouTube. Bruno Branuelos, who takes over for David Mercer here in the 5th. And Bruno, making his second appearance of the summer, now sees his Bean Ballers trailing by 7 and still a couple of Aviators out on the base paths. But he'll look to just get these final 3 outs and let the Bean Ballers have another turn with the bats.
Yeah, a rough outing for David Mercer there, but it just shows what the Lafayette Bets are capable of. You know, Lafayette, fresh off of a trip to the championship, the Prospect League Championship last season. They're looking to get back there to the promised land and possibly win it. A little bit of momentum after a 4-run inning for the Bean Ballers. Swings right back to Lafayette.
Sage Adams is the first one to greet him. Infield in now for the Bean Ballers. First pitch is upstairs off the glove of Miller. And make it a dozen runs now for the Aviators as Rodney Rachel comes across on the wild pitch. Tough stuff right there from Bruno.
Yeah, off the glove of Miller. Not sure he was expecting it that high, so not quite able to get up to that fastball. And already a runner in, still a runner on third. Nobody out.
1-0 to Adams. High and tight, 2-0. We almost didn't talk about Bruno on Friday. He came in against the O'Fallon Hoots up 5-3, but gave up 2 runs in the 8th before the Bean Ballers were able to respond with 7 in the bottom half as a breaking ball in there for strike 1. He ended up getting the win. He went 2 innings, gave up those 2 runs on 3 hits, did strike out 2 batters, but also did walk 2 batters. Comes from Santa Ana College. Deals on 2-1. Breaking ball in there again, 2-2.
So that means 3 Dons from last season out on the field. Jagger Snitko at second, Bonuelos on the mound, of course, and then Garrett Allen out in left field. A little bit of chemistry.
3rd straight breaking ball. This one almost hit Adams, and the count has gone full.
Probably also a little bit of chemistry between the first and second baseman, seeing that they are brothers.
Still been a while since they've played together, though, with Jackson being 3 years older than Jagger. And the 3-2 is upstairs, off the mid again of Miller. And yet another Aviator run comes across via a wild pitch. And also just like that, the Aviators have answered the 4 spot the Bean Ballers have put up with 4 runs of their own.
So, yeah, again, we talked about it, Truman. Thinking a little bit of the momentum swinging towards Decatur, but already Lafayette able to make up those 4 runs right back without recording an out.
Isaac Antonelli digs in, taking out for second is Adams. Miller's throw down, pulls Carter Rich toward the first base side of second base. And Adams is in there with his 2nd stolen base of the game.
Yeah, Miller with quite the arm. All 3 of these catchers certainly not shy on arm strength. Felice, Jackson Miller, and Gage Reynolds, but that one not quite on line, not able to catch his 2nd runner stealing of the day.
1-0 from Bonuelos in there for a strike. Insnelli is yet to be retired. He singled and scored in the 1st. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 3rd. And he clubbed a double and came around to score last inning. 1-1 from Bruno. Breaking ball misses, 2-1.
So also yet not to score.
When he's gotten on base, 100% success rate coming across home plate today for Incinelli. Came in as the Aviators' leading hitter and added to that. Now has 11 hits to lead Lafayette's side. Also drove in his 8th RBI with that double last inning. Another pitch clock violation. 2nd of the inning on a Bean Ballers pitcher. And to now make it 3-1 on Incinelli.
Bonuelos tried to step off that time, but unable to do so in time.
Pitch grounded foul. And excuse me, pardon me, it appears that pitch clock violation was actually on Incinelli. So the count is 2-2. Guess he didn't address Bonuelos in time. Usually that's what batters get called for. Whatever addressing in the home plate umpire is deemed. Anyway, the 2-2 home. Fastball just a bit outside, all the way to the backstop. And then Jackson Miller throws it wide of 3rd. And here comes Sage Adams to score run number 14. Now for the Aviators. They are flying high here on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, flying across these base paths for sure.
That was one of those throws, if you're Miller, I feel like you just didn't need to do it. Didn't feel like there was a chance to get Adams, even though that ball ricocheted right back to him. As on 3-2, Inchinelli goes down swinging, and finally the first out of the inning is recorded for Decatur.
Yeah, Adams just, like a lot of these Aviators, plenty of speed. The Flyboys are flying around the bases today. And Decatur just has no response for them, really. The pitch department, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5 across the first 5 innings so far.
First pitch is cut on and missed from Gabe Boyd. He is a perfect 3 for 3 today. Now has 7 hits in his 4th start. First 2 times he came around to score in the 1st and the 3rd. Last inning he was caught stealing, got picked off by Tyler Powell. This pitch misses upstairs, 1-1. The 1-1 from Bonuelos, breaking ball in there for strike 2. Breaking ball has been working for Bonuelos in his short outing thus far. Has been able to locate the fastball. Bonuelos out of the wind on 1-2. Grounded to the right side. Jagger Snitko has it. Fires across to his brother to complete the 4-3 putout. So Gabe Boyd is retired for the first time this afternoon. But now a man who also has yet to be retired this afternoon, Jack Ferguson, digs in. What an afternoon for the man from Indianapolis, Indiana. 2 for 2, 3 RBIs, and he crushed a homer his last time up. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it out of the stadium.
Yeah, this Decatur infield last night, tonight, they've been playing rather cleanly. It's just the Lafayette bats are finding holes that Danville couldn't find last night.
The 0-1 rolled over towards Carter Rich at shortstop. He gloves it on the run and throws out Ferguson to retire the side, but not before the Lafayette Aviators put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th. Quite the mountain to surpass for Decatur. They're coming up with the bats after this.
Back here at Loeb Stadium, it's the 6th inning. Decatur in a 14-4 hole still on the mound for the Aviators. Bradley Janes came in after 4 innings plus from Jackson Gwynn. Decatur ended up putting 4 in the top of the 5th, but Lafayette puts 5 back up in the bottom as that one inside. Now 2-0 the count to Kreider.
Yeah, it's funny how baseball works sometimes. You think you have a little bit of momentum, and then, again, it goes to show how good the Aviators played in this first week and why, barring maybe something supernatural, we'll be 6-0 after the first week of the Prospect League 2026 season.
The 2-0 to Kreider upstairs, ball 3. So Decatur batted around last inning, but seems like that was ages ago after a very long 5-run inning in the bottom of the 5th for Lafayette. The 3-0 up and in, ball 4, and Kreider is aboard. Singled his last time up. Now he walks this time. That'll bring up the pinch hitter, 37, Brandon Schultz. So that'll end the day for the right fielder, C.J. Scheffel.
Schultz out of Eastern Illinois. Seen him now make, this is his second appearance. He started in right field back on Thursday down in Marion. Went 0 for 3 with a walk and a couple of punch outs.
Pickoff attempt on Kreider at first is no good.
And you have to think for Bradley James up on the mound, you just got to throw strikes. If you get hit around, so what? You got a 10-run lead. I know the Aviators probably wanting to go home early.
That's true. 10 runs after 7 is the only run rule the Prospect League has. Janes the 1-0 to the plate, upstairs. Ball 2. Pickoff throw again, and Kreider just inching back just ahead of the throw. A lot closer that time, but
That's also one of those things, you're down by 10. You don't need to be stealing base. If you're Kreider, you don't want to run your team into an out.
the 2-0 home. That one in there for a strike, 2-1. Now the count to Brandon Schultz. It's been a frustrating day for Decatur pitching. 2 runs in each of the first 3 innings for the Aviators as Schultz swings and misses at strike 2. And then Lafayette put 3 across back in the 4th inning, and then after 4 from Decatur in the top of the 5th, 5 from the Aviators to respond in the last of the 5th inning. Count goes full to Brandon Schultz. The final day of the week for Decatur, they get the off day. Prospect League-wide off day is Monday as Schultz swings and misses at a high fastball, and he's out number 1. That'll turn the lineup over to the top, and Brandon Abernathy steps up to the plate. RBI single his last time up, came around to score. The first pitch to Abernathy. That one catches the outside edge, strike 1.
And for the Bean Ballers, I mean, after today, they don't play another game outside of their own division, the Central Division. You got to go all the way to June 9th at the Alton River Dragons. So you've got a lot of important games coming up. You've got at the Terre Haute Rex on Tuesday. Their pitching staff is struggling a little bit. Then you get your first showdown against the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes before you play 4 games, 2 home, 2 on the road against the Du Bois County Bombers.
Cut and the miss ahead of a breaking ball is Abernathy. Count now 0-2. Abernathy, not a big guy, 5'9", 160, but plenty of pop in his bat. Had 6 home runs last season at Irvine Valley College. A native of Huntington Beach, California. The 0-2. Grounded to third. Boyd goes to second for 1, and that's the only out the Aviators get, so a fielder's choice. Abernathy replaces Kreider at first, and that'll bring up Carter Rich.
I like the way that Janes has responded after the 4-pitch walk, and then he fell behind Schultz 3-0. He's right back in the zone, challenging these Bean Baller hitters. And these are at-bats that'll grow this Bean Baller lineup. You know, when they're seeing good pitchers like Jackson Gwynn, I'd imagine they might see him down the line. But it's about just overcoming and sometimes manufacturing your own success.
Abernathy goes. The pitch in there for a strike. The throw down. Safe is Brandon Abernathy under the tag of Jack Ferguson. Looks like he might have gotten some dirt in his eye again. Dirt. This is a turf field, but there's dirt right around the bases to make for an easier slide.
And for those of us that have to do laundry when these players get back, you know, it's not the most convenient thing to get out.
No, certainly not. That one in there for a strike. Abernathy now with dirt all along his pants. So 0-2 quickly ahead of Rich is Janes. Looking for out number 3. The 0-2 home to Rich. Grounded and foul. The ball landed just on the other side of the first base bag, just foul. Broken bat on that one for Carter Rich, so he'll need a new one to swing up at the plate.
It's already the 4th broken bat we've seen so far through week 1, and I hope we got the logging company in Decatur on high alert, knowing the boys might need some new sticks.
Yeah. Someone tell Marucci.
Don't think they're based in Decatur, but we can get them on the phone.
That one, Rich thought about offering at it in the dirt, but pulled it back. So now 1-2 the count.
Now, really, it all starts with what kind of wood you want to swing. Birch, maple,
Ash.
ash.
That might be all we have.
That might be the only wood bats I think that are in production, but maybe not. We'll do some research.
Well, that's still 3 options. You know, 3, a number that's ingrained in baseball. As there's strike number 3 on the outside edge. Carter Rich caught looking. A 0 put on the scoreboard. Decatur have nothing to respond to the Lafayette 5 spot. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with Lafayette up 14-4 here at Loeb Stadium.
Leading off the home half of the 6th inning, quarter
14-4 Aviators back here at Loeb Stadium in Lafayette.
I have an update for you, Daniel. So there's also bamboo.
Okay.
We forgot about bamboo wood
Okay.
bats. And then, well, composite wood, which those are just fake wood bats. They have a, carbon fiber interior.
As the first pitch from Bruno Banuelos hits Gavin Smith, another hit batsman for the Aviators today.
I think that's 4, but yeah, composite wood bats, they have a carbon fiber interior, and then it's just wood around. So, are they really wood bats?
Oh, they're Fugazi wood bats.
Well, yeah, they're fake wood bats.
So
They're hiding what's truly inside of them. You could say that about some people, but we're
So-
not 2 people that are judging here. But yeah, so those are the main 5 that you'll see in the baseball circuit.
All right, well, let's call an emergency meeting. We found the imposter with the wood bats as Banuelos misses high the first pitch to the catcher, Zach Pelletier.
Now, with BB Core bats in the high school and college scene, you do only have 3 choices. You have one-piece alloy, one-piece composite. I guess you have 4. 2-piece composite or your 2-piece hybrids.
Which one would you elect to choose?
I mean, there are a lot of hot bats for all of them. The composite, they take a little more time to break in, where alloy bats are pretty much ready.
That one cracked up the middle, laced up to center, a base hit for Pelletier, and quickly runners on first and second for the Aviators. Nobody away here in the last of the 6th inning.
Personally, I know the big bats that a lot of the good college hitters swing are those 2-piece hybrids, which is a composite handle. You have then a connector piece to an alloy barrel. Provides a lot of pop, but there have been talks in the college scene with how much bigger and stronger these players are getting to having to come up with a whole new system of bats, or maybe even making the college game wood bats with just how hard they are hitting these baseballs. I mean, you are getting upwards of 115, 120 miles per hour exit velos from these college kids.
That one hit very hard off the bat of Pelletier. Of course, Prospect League, a wood bat league for the summer, as several leagues are. That one grounded up the middle, return to sender, a base hit into center for Dean Hanna, station to station, and the bases are loaded with nobody away. Aviators looking to add to their 14-run total already.
Well, I feel like it'd only be fitting then. We haven't gotten there yet. Not saying it's going to happen that, the Bean Ballers hang 24 on the Rex. It maybe felt like the baseball gods, just spiting them a little. And, now the Aviators, they've only hung 14, so they would need to hang 10 more. But
that's true, and we saw Wally Diaz, the reigning league MVP and star for first baseman for the Rex in that game. He ended up going on the mound. Are you saying we might see O'Neal Felice tossing?
I would not put O'Neal Felice on the mound.
For the Bean Ballers? No?
If I had to pick a position player.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
Well, we already saw Griessel Robertson on Thursday down in Marion. That one grounded softly. Kreider to second for one. Jagger Snitko on to first, not in time. Rachel reaches on the force out. Run comes across the first of the inning. So now runs in every inning for the Aviators. We mentioned that, of course, that 5-27 game against the Rex for the Bean Ballers. The Bean Ballers put runs across every inning. So we could be seeing a little bit of deja vu here for Decatur, but not the kind they would like to see. That'll bring up the top of the order. Bo Caraway, the center fielder, stepping up to the plate. First pitch to Caraway, fouled off to the left, out of play. He swings a bright pink bat. It's got a tan. It's tan up to the barrel, but then it's bright pink for the barrel, the sweet spot. Next one upstairs. Ball one to Caraway. He has a green and yellow elbow guard, green wrist tape, or rather yellow wrist tape, white batting gloves, white cleats. Hitting from the left side against the right-handed Banuelos. Count even 1-1, one out here. Fouled away off to the left. Out of play down the left field line. Runners at the corners. Already a run in for Lafayette here in the last of the 6th inning. 13 hits for the Aviators, 15 runs. Meanwhile, Decatur with just 6 hits, 4 runs respectively. That one fouled away again.
Going to be running out of baseballs here soon. Caraway's put 3 out of the stadium. Anybody heading to the water park might look up and, oh, I got a souvenir from the game.
Not a lot of swings and misses today for Lafayette, however. That one low and away, ball 2. Count even 2-2 to the center fielder Caraway.
Water park seems to be jumping out in left field beyond the fence here at Loeb Stadium. Plenty of fans enjoying the early portion of summer before it gets scorching hot.
It's the season for it. Yeah, there's also several fans out on the lawn. There's a little grassy area that loops down in between the sidewalk and the left field fence. Several fans enjoying the game from out there. Cut and a miss, strike 3. Caraway goes down swinging, and he's out number 2. Ahead of the breaking ball. That'll bring up the right fielder, Sage Adams. The first pitch from Banuelos to Adams, skipped in there, stopped at the feet of the catcher Miller. Couldn't find it for a second, but he does before Pelletier at third even thinks about running home. Pelletier off of third, Rodney Rachel on first. Already a run in, 2 outs, 1-0 count on Sage Adams here in the last of the 6. Check swing. No swing rules the second base umpire, and 2-0 quickly behind is Banuelos. The pitch from Banuelos. That one in there for a strike. The Aviators have put up a crooked number in every inning up to this point. Only 1 so far in the 6th, but 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the 4th, and then 5 in the 5th as Banuelos loses Adams. A 5-pitch walk, and Adams is aboard. Bases now loaded for Isaac Incinelli. The first pitch, Banuelos to Incinelli. Upstairs, ball 1. He's been missing high quite a bit today. Already had a few wild pitches that scored runs. John Toney now out to the mound to have a chat with Banuelos. Jackson Miller, the catcher, also walking out there to meet him. While they take this mound visit, we'll take you around the Prospect League as there are several other games in action. The Johnstown Mill Rats are up on the Kokomo Creek Chubs 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th in Johnstown. Meanwhile, over in Clinton, the Lumber Kings lead the Quincy Doggy Paddlers 9-4 in the bottom of the 8th. In the bottom of the 5th, over in Normal, it's 3-0. Corn Belters leading the Bees. Meanwhile, trailing at home are the Terre Haute Rex down 5-1 against Chillicothe. No score, top of the first, just underway. The Du Bois County Bombers hosting the Cape Catfish. Also no score, just underway. Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp visiting the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. And then later today at 6:35, first pitch, the O'Fallon Hoots host the Thrillville Thrillbillies. As we're back out to action, the next pitch from Banuelos also misses. Ball 2 to Incinelli. And then the nightcap tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time, the Jackson Rockabillies host the Alton River Dragons. Banuelos delivers breaking ball in there for a strike. Now 2-1, the count to Incinelli.
That's just kind of been his outing for Banuelos. I feel like that breaking ball has been nice, but it's been the fastball that's ran away from him, and he hasn't been able to command it as much as he's wanted to.
That one lofted sky high, glasses glistening. Abernathy over from center to make the catch for out number 3. So the Aviators held to just 1. They leave the bases loaded. We go to the 7th inning with Lafayette leading 15-4 here at Loeb Stadium.
Top of the 7th with the Bean Ballers down 15-4 here on the last day of May here from Loeb Stadium in Lafayette, Indiana. And the Bean Ballers do not score 2 runs, this game will end with the 7-inning run rule in effect. Truman, Griessel, Daniel, Herzog, we've been along for what has been maybe the unpleasant ride for the Bean Baller fan faithful, as Bean Ballers didn't get on the board till the 5th, and by then they were already down 9-0. As it's been just an impressive day. The Aviators look like they will move to 6-0 on the young season, while the Bean Ballers will fall to 2-4. We'll be back on the air Tuesday in Terre Haute, Indiana, right here on the official YouTube channel for your Decatur Bean Ballers, before back home Wednesday through Friday on the home team network against the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes, and then 2 against the Du Bois County Bombers. But again, crazier things have happened. Bean Ballers will face a new arm from the Aviators. Owen Norris making his 2nd appearance of the summer. He pitched back on Wednesday against the Kokomo Creek Chubs. 2 shutout innings from the lefty, and he'll look to close out the victory.
Yeah, different story today versus yesterday for Decatur. Yesterday against undefeated Dans, Decatur doesn't trail until the 11th inning. Only surrendered 2 runs in the first 9. Meanwhile, today, Lafayette scored 2 runs in every inning up until that 6th.
That's the first pitch to Jackson Sitko, who switches around to the right side, is swung on and missed for strike 1. Foul tips it back into the mitt of Pelletier, and he's quickly down 0-2. Snitko drove in a run his last time up, had an RBI single. He's reached base twice. He reached also via an error. Pitch low, 1-2. Bradley Janes is in line for the win. Went 2 innings, gave up 1 unearned run on 1 hit, struck out 4, and offered 2 walks. The 1-2 also misses low, 2-2. Two down near the feet, 3-2. Aviators will also be back on the road when play resumes on Tuesday. They will head up to Kokomo to play the Creek Chubs before back home for back-to-back games against the Chillicothe Paints, June 3rd and June 4th. 3-2, grounded right up the middle. Shortstop Smith has it, and he throws out Snitko for out number 1.
That's kind of just been the story of the day for the Decatur Bats. They had a nice 5th inning, but just overall set up behind the 8 ball pretty much the whole way with how active this Aviators lineup has been. Never really gave them a chance.
It's now O'Neal Feliz who digs in for the first time this season. We can say he had a very quiet game. 0 for 3, got punched out looking his last time up. He first pitch swings, rolls it on the ground to Smith. Picks up the ball, throws it across. And the Aviators are 1 out away from being 6-0.
Yeah, that one Felice was a little bit ahead of, but not hard contact. Just right off the hands. Definitely didn't get the barrel to it.
As we'll now see a pinch hitter with the Bean Ballers down to their final. That'll be Trevor Geiss, who pinch hits for Garrett Allen. First pitch to Geiss, swing and a miss. Geiss was 1 for 4 last night in the loss to Danville. Comes in hitting just .091, just 1 for 11. The 0-1 home from the lefty, popped foul. And now Owen Norris is 1 strike away from a run rule victory for the Aviators. Norris comes set. The 0-2 home. Foul back. Geiss stays alive for at least another pitch.
Well, whatever happens with this lineup for Decatur, pitching it was concerning today how easily Lafayette could just get on the board at any given moment.
Another 0-2 is fouled back. 3 straight foul balls off the bat of Trevor Griess. But certainly that'll be something that Gabe Royal will talk over with John Toney, the pitching coach, as well as fellow assistant Pete Romero. But again, they talked about it. This first week, they really wanted just to see what the guys they've had. You know, they know some of them. They don't know others. What do they have? Who do they got? Crowd coming to their feet. Another 0-2 from Owen Norris. Line down the left field line and foul. Trevor Griess not making it easy on the Aviator lefty. Another slow clap starting. Crowd a little over 1,000. The 0-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And that'll do it. The Bean Ballers fall 15-4 to close out the first week of 2026 Prospect League action by the score of 15-4. Bean Ballers fall to 2-4 on the season. Meanwhile, the Lafayette Aviators move to a perfect 6-0. And Daniel, I think we said this, not the game they wanted, but that's the beauty of baseball. You're back at it Tuesday. You got 6 more games in a row before your next off day. You got to kind of forget quickly these games like this where you kind of just got punched in the mouth right onto the canvas, and you started to get up at one point, and then they just came back over and really put you down for good.
Yeah, Truman, you said it. Earlier this week, this whole week, we've been talking about how the beauty of this league is you're playing tomorrow. Well, for Decatur, they don't play. Nobody plays tomorrow. Luckily, there is that off day Monday. But, again, it was just a punch in the mouth from this relentless lineup that Lafayette has. Never really gave Decatur a chance and never let up. And Decatur's got a bus ride back to Decatur after a disappointing one here in Lafayette.
Bradley Janes gets the win. He goes 2 innings, gives up 1 unearned run on 1 hit, striking out 4 and walking 2 for Janes. It's his first win of the season. The loss will be charged to Adam Cooper. He gave up 4 runs in 2 innings on 4 hits with 3 walks and a strikeout. That'll do it from us here from Loeb Stadium. For my broadcast partner, Daniel Herzog, I've been Truman Griessel. One final time, your Bean Ballers fall 15-4 to the Aviators. We'll be back on the air Tuesday here on the official YouTube channel for your Decatur Bean Ballers. Have a good night.